So I was kind of walking around my room earlier, um, and I guess I got a little thirsty, and I have a whole bunch of like orange juice cartons and uh, different like things just lying around. So I grabbed for one of the orange juice cartons, and I figured out it was empty. And then I looked and I saw how much I had like just lying around, and I was like, why do I have all these bottles and stuff just lying around here? They're not really serving any purpose, so I should just throw them away. I mean, they're I could either fill them up with something to make them useful again, throw them away because they're taking up space, or yeah, those are my options. Because I mean, uh, it's just clutter otherwise. And I think we have a that can kind of tie into our real world, in the real world aspect. Sometimes we just have so much junk lying around, um, so much clutter in our lives that prevent us from doing the things that we want to do. And I think um, God wants us to do things. He has a will set up for each of our lives, that might be a little bit different, might differ for some people. Um, but if if your room, your spiritual room is cluttered, uh, if you think of a real room, if you have a home, but if you let your room get dirty and cluttered and just a mess everywhere, it can be kind of difficult to operate. You may be comfortable enough to move around and do things, uh, and kind of get things done in your own way, but operating in a clean room is so much. Uh, Operating in a clean room is so much better than trying to operate in a dirty room, because in a dirty room you could lose things, and you'll be turning things over, looking, try to find what you lost. I mean, it can probably start smelling a little bit. It's just a big mess. And if you ever clean like a room and you have that, once you finish cleaning a room that was dirty for so long, it's just kind of that big breath of fresh air. It's kind of like, I accomplished something, and it's just so much more pleasing to just live in a clean environment than just kind of trying to relax in a room with so much clutter everywhere. So we need to clean our spiritual rooms. We have a lot of Some of us may have a lot of junk, spiritual junk, lying around that God is telling us to throw away because it's not useful. It's just taking up space, and it's preventing us from having that clean room experience. Um, that clutter may be things like, I don't know, bitterness or unforgiveness, hatred, or anxiety, or worries, whatever it is. God wants us to throw it away. Um, and sometimes it may seem a little hard to throw it away. It might be some big trash you got to try to throw away, but through God all things are possible, and God wants us uh, to fulfill the will that He has for our lives, and He wouldn't tell us to do something that wasn't possible to do. So clean your spiritual, clean out all that clutter, whether it be just one piece at a time, maybe it's one piece a day. Some things you may have a hard time trying to throw away, but if you just trust God, ask God, say, God, this is something that I'm having some trouble throwing away. If you ask Him, He is faithful. He is faithful, and He'll help you. So clean your spiritual room today.